Welcome back to LibQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until the sequel Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which is today in 68 days. I wanted to discuss something that I've been hearing more and more about recently, and that's seasons potentially playing a role in Tears of the Kingdom. I think the reason this originally came up is because of the most recent trailer featuring a shot of the Great Plateau. Now, I heard two different theories about this. So some people are saying maybe Tears of the Kingdom simply plays in a different season. Actually, I've heard three theories, but let me unwind again. So there's these one is Tears of the Kingdom just plays in a different season. You know, like maybe this game played in the, I don't know, fall, and Tears of the Kingdom plays in the summer. Because there is a shot of the Great Plateau where the Great Plateau itself does not seem to have snow on it, in a spot where in this game it does have snow on it. The explanation that people seem to have agreed on is, oh yeah, maybe there's some sort of season mechanic in the game. Now, I do want to point out something, and again, the format of these videos is not great for discussion like this sometimes, but there's this one shot. It's on a sky island that would pretty much be exactly where I'm standing right now, just much higher, looking down at this area of the map, the Giza crater area, and it also shows Rito Village. It shows like this area of Rito Village, and to me, like basically before you even get to the main village, right? A little bit like on this side of the pillar where I'm looking, like down there, it shows that area, and it looks like there's snow there. Now, again, I might be wrong about this, maybe it's not snow, and as you can see if I look into this view again, back there is actually snow pretty close to Rito Village, so it might be that area instead. But I was looking at that shot a little bit more and it looked like, wait, the snow seems to have advanced further. Now, this is where Theory 2 comes into play, which is that people are saying that potentially there is going to be seasons within the game. So instead of only having one season consistently as you play the game, the seasons would be changing, right? At one point you play the game in the summer and there's like less snow, then maybe it gets winter, which I honestly, I agree more with Theory 3, which is kind of like a simplified version of that, where people are saying the weather system has simply advanced. I think this is the theory I've heard most recently, where people are saying, oh yeah, like maybe the snow and stuff on the ground is just gonna be dynamic this time. Like when it's snowing, it might actually change the way you play the game in areas like this. I think this could actually have some interesting gameplay changes, right? Suddenly, maybe you might not be ready, you're chilling in an area, no pun intended, where usually you don't need cold protection. Suddenly you need cold protection because it's starting to snow. Maybe specific enemies spawn in this area now that it started to snow, etc., right? Like stuff like this, I think, has interesting potential. That being said, I want to kind of explore other options as to how weather could play a role. Is this guy actually asleep? This moblin looks so weird. Okay, he is asleep. I guess he was just awake still. So basically, the reason I am even thinking about this episode today is because I am going to activate the Barida Narg Shrine at the end of this line of Korok Seeds. The Barida Narg Shrine is a shrine next to Rito Village, you'll see it in a little bit, that requires you to be on that pedestal at a certain time of day. I think in this case it's like a little bit past 12, I think it's like 12:30, it's because the sun shines through this gap, you can see it perfectly from here, that like kind of forms a heart in that pillar, and the heart gets basically reflected on the ground, blah blah blah. So you know what I'm talking about, especially because I'm going to be activating it at the end of this episode anyway, and then I can show it again. Now, I think weather would make a great addition to those sort of challenges. Most of us think shrines are gonna be gone in Tears of the Kingdom. We at least haven't seen them. I hear this argument more often now that people are saying, well, we haven't seen shrines in Breath of the Wild's like promotional material, which, fair, but I feel like now that we have seen shrines and them being missing, they would have probably put them there if they were actually in the game. It's not like they were hiding them from us. If they were back, I really don't think shrines are gonna be back. I think Zeltic recently made a video on the potential new shrines for Tears of the Kingdom, which he is predicting to be those like spiral things we've seen on the ground. I highly doubt that. I really think those spiral things are simply some sort of jump pads, kind of like Elden Ring. had these spirit springs. If you here I go talking about Elden Ring again, people are probably going to be like, oh my god, Limcube and this Elden Ring fetish. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Elden Ring had these like spirit springs where you could like jump higher with Torrent, and I think those are what those spirals are in Tears of the Kingdom. You can use them to jump and enter a Sky Island. We've even seen a similar shot like that before, but there's a spiral around Link where he goes through the ground. I keep referring under Nintendo YouTubers here, but Monster Maze made a video on those patterns before where you can like jump through the ground. I think that's exactly what those spiral things on the ground are for. But I'm talking around the topic. Basically, I think there's a good potential for a season / more advanced weather mechanic being in the game, and I think that could have interesting gameplay implications. Like, you know, it might not be shrines, but maybe Koroks are back, or maybe different puzzles in the future require you to be at a specific location at a certain time. Okay, let's give you another example. Maybe there's a snow dungeon in the game, and in the winter you can't enter, and you can only enter on certain weather conditions. Wait, I keep forgetting that this thing has a projectile. I never use this weapon. It's because two-hand weapons in this game are broken, and the Wind Cleaver is the one two-hand weapon that's not broken, simply for the fact that you cannot do spin attacks with it. And if you guys have ever done speedruns, or like, yeah, I mean basically speedruns, you know how broken spin attacks are in this game, especially if you face your back to the target you're hitting. But yeah, I was kind of curious what most of you think. I'm trying to think if I heard any other explanations as to why the plateau suddenly doesn't have snow on it anymore. Obviously, the time travel theory is always a strong one. Some people will tell you that's obviously why it plays in a different time, which is obviously possible as well. But I think actually the season idea is kind of a strong one, and I'm interested to see if that's gonna end up happening. And I was also interested to see what you guys think about that. And again, if you think it's just simply seasons, or if it's just like the easiest solution. I don't know who I heard. I think it was also Zeltic. That was just saying, well, maybe time has passed between Breath of the Wild and this game. Sorry, this game and Tears of the Kingdom. And because of that, the snow is not there right now. Obviously, super... simple way to maybe explain it. But yeah, anyway, I'm at the Marina Narc Shrine. I just wanted to show you what I meant. So for the shrine, you wait until noon. I'm around the location where it's going to spawn out of the ground. And again, let's say there's a similar mechanic where you have to wait for snowfall and then be at a certain location in Tears of the Kingdom and to activate a shrine. In this case, it's waiting until noon, and then I think I'm going to have to wait another 30 in-game minutes or so, which is going to make it so that the sun is going to shine through this heart. The shadow of the heart is going to project onto this pedestal, which I will already tell you, this pedestal will turn red before the shadow is even close to it. It's a classic thing from speedruns that I know. I'm going to predict it's going to turn orange in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, I thought I was smart, but I wasn't. But that's what I mean, see? Like, the heart isn't even on there. Anyway, that's my quick seasons rant. Tears of the Kingdom seasons rant. I do have to check the map right now. We've been making some good progress recently. Especially after I'm gonna be activating the shrine. I am a little bit scared, though. Because, you know... Hebra is coming up, and Hebra is scary. I have already prepared a little bit, but finding these Korok seeds and like specific peaks that I'm gonna have to get, ooh, it's gonna be tough. But looks like we're gonna be on 80.8% here. Not too bad. Really getting into the final. I can't wait to hit 90%, so we're actually in the final 10%. That's gonna feel great. Until at the very end, where I'm realizing that I'm still missing certain locations. One thing that I'm already dreading is that I have to, for example, activate this fairy fountain, so I'm gonna have to pay 10,000 rupees. And some shrines that I have to do. Speaking of which, tomorrow, in tomorrow's episode, I will obtain the Vulota shrine here. And it's not here, it's here, at the Warbler's Nest, where I have to do this entire big quest. So that's gonna be interesting too, but thank you as always for watching. I appreciate you hanging out and discussing Tears of the Kingdom stuff. I'll see you tomorrow when it's 67 days till the sequel. Thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.